You know, fighting games are all about, you know, the character that you're playing. And for the most part, when people play the character, you know, it's the character that we made, and you basically learn it, you master it, you know, you learn the nuances of it, but you don't really change what it does. And that's kind of what we're introducing with this game. We're really like saying, okay, here's a base version of Aquaman, here's a base version of Superman, Atrocitus, and that's your starting point. And then when you start acquiring gear, and that gear actually makes your character more powerful, and you're the one who chooses what it is that it's going to enhance as far as the part of the game. And you know, as we can see before, you know, our super moves were kind of like, we set such a high bar before, it's kind of like, so we're trying to really just supersede all of this one.
I love that that's all in engine, all this insanity.
Oh yeah.
And what if there's that, you know, that one piece of gear that you love so much, you just can't let go, but you have something that's even better? Is there any way to sort of avoid losing that, or do I have to just give up my passion for that piece of gear?
No, you have a whole storage of gear that you can have, like it's kind of like a locker room, and you can, you know, change outfits as needed. Nice. So you always be able to keep that kind of special piece of gear that is that, you know, you some legendary piece that you found that you never want to get rid of.
Oh God!
You don't want to.
What's gonna happen now?
Water
Series of
slides?
tubes. It's a series of tubes.
It's a water slide mid-level, nice relaxing, sort of take a break, cool off. And so how much fun is it for you guys, not only to just put characters, you know, that people want to see in the game as playable characters, but, you know, you mentioned, like, you get to see characters in the background you might not necessarily get to play as, but is that cool for you guys to get to dive into and just add characters to the mix that people might not notice, and then you play through a couple times?
I see that we're starting out with just fists. Does that mean I need to go collect my weapons and kind of upgrade myself?
Weapons. And actually what you see here is that you see in the distance two people fighting. So as you move in the game world, as I was saying, you'll be encountering other players, and sometimes they're in the distance like these, and you can't meet up with them. Yeah. But you know, maybe a bit further down the road, you'll be able to join forces with them.
I like that you just happen to run into people who are fighting to the death. Like, hey guys, I'm AVB. All right, cool.
Just passing by.
Yeah, cool.
It's a tough neighborhood.
I'm so glad just looking at this. The you know, just the melee combat is super compelling, because in video games, it's how people, like how humans were meant to fight, but we didn't get it right in video games until right now. It's like, it's always so infuriating when games do not do punching correctly. Like, that's all we've ever been doing, and it's never compelling.
That's what struck us when we saw it. It was just like this smooth cinematic, like dodging, moving, and he can talk more about it, but the flow of the combat to me is...
And so I'm learning to counter different abilities of different types of enemies.
And so here, you're walking around in the world, and you happen to encounter another player, and so you don't know what's going to happen, but he tells me to come in, so, okay, it's a fight, let's fight, you know.
This guy obviously didn't see what we did to the other guy. He was like, yeah, it's gonna be easy, it's fine, I got this.
But you can, you know, you can trade, you can make friends. You don't necessarily have to fight with other players you meet. And this guy didn't make the good decision, because it's two of us, it's only him. But, well, you know, he felt like attacking.
People have been there before, St. Patrick's Day, you know.
Just used the shockwave, and now he felt endangered, so he pulled the sword to try and get transfer.
Ooh, and how do I parry a sword if I don't have one?
Well, your parry is a kind of magical parry, so you've got a
We're still talking
shield.
fiction here, okay? So.
No, that's great. I can buy magical parry. I'm totally into that.
And I love that, you know, you're always surprised with what, you know, new abilities or new weapons or whatever.
look at you. Mama's little demon's all grown up.
Hey folks, Chris Waters here with Stéphane Cardin, the producer on For Honor. Stéphane, it's Gamescom time and you are showing For Honor in a really big way.
Yeah, really exciting time. You know, last E3, we surprised people with our campaign, and now it's time to get back to the root of the franchise, which is multiplayer.
Multiplayer, and specifically today we started with Dominion, that 4v4 mode with AI enemies mixing it up in the middle and a bunch of different capture points. Let's talk about how you guys have improved this mode since we last saw it.
You know, we adjust a few things like the control points, but the big things that we're bringing in this year, it's the impact of new heroes on the battlefield. So we announced for the first time our 12 heroes that will be at launch for the players. And what people realize or will realize if you didn't have the chance to play is that each of them play completely differently, right? You have different abilities, different combos, specific set of animation for each of those characters. And you need to master that weapon and his advantages and his disadvantage to be efficient on the battlefield.
It's not just one knight, one Viking, one samurai. I mean, you've got samurais wielding huge cudgels. You've got Vikings darting around with axes. There are sort of different archetypes within each faction to give players, you know, a different way to attack, a different speeds to attack, and play different roles during combat.
Exactly, and we realized quickly that they were falling into one of those four categories, right? We have the assassins, the very fast one. You have the other one who are more tanks on the battlefield that we call the heavy. You have the kind of hybrid character, which is mixing some of the attribute of those category, and you have the vanguard, which is the jack of all trades, right?
And they look so distinct and they have to, because if I'm rolling up and I'm fighting a heavy, I need to know I can't afford to take a hit from that heavy because it's gonna lay my health real low.
Yeah, but against heavy, you need the most difficult part is to find the opening on those characters. They usually have shield, they protect themselves very well. They are extremely efficient in the middle of the lanes with the minions. Very difficult to move out the control points. So you really need to strategize, and what is fun is because you can mismatch those 12 characters in each of the team. Each match feels different because you need to adapt to not just the strategy of the other team, but also their roosters.
Absolutely.
Awesome. When you're going down, it feels just like you're actually dropping levels. It is virtual reality.
As you put the mask on, the mirror appears, and you look into the mirror and you see in your own face it's Batman. So that's when you like really feel it.
I felt powerful, felt strong. It was cool to have like the belt on and to just like grab your stuff and throw it.
That was a lot of fun.
Closest thing that you could possibly get to being Batman.
Seeing like the I'm Batman, it's like, it's pretty cool.
It is beautiful. Oh man, the graphics on that, you are Batman.
You feel like you're transported someplace else. It's very cool.
It was intense, being able to do different things with his hands and take different gadgets.
Being able to look all around and use his gadgets, it really feels like you're Batman.
Absolutely incredible.
It was amazing.
It felt so real. Awesome. Oh my God. Amazing. I want it.
This is the future.
Be the Batman.
Be the Batman.
Be the Batman.